Then I can't hear you. Are you talking?
Me too.
Ah, we can't hear you, Dana. I can't hear you. Maybe log off and log on again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm like, why are they not reacting to me? I'm talking and it's like all blank. I'm like, do they not? What's going on? All right.
That's the detox, Dana. That's what you've done to us.
What I was saying, I was like, oh, I guess everybody's had a really tough detox weekend because nobody was reacting. Nobody was saying anything. All right. Okay. So yeah. Let's talk about the detox weekend, the past few days. You have all gone through some very uncomfortable symptoms, I know. And some of you are very worried, some of you just, curious, concerned, some of you wondering if you should go to the doctor. Let me just reassure you that every single symptom that you have experienced in the past few days, the back pain from the top of your back to the bottom of your back, to the sides of your back, to the middle of your back, to your lymph nodes being swollen or being also a bit sore, to the headaches, from the mild headache to the migraine, to stomach aches, to period pains, to a period coming on very fast, very hard, very painful when it didn't used to joint pains, to insomnia, to throwing up, to nausea. What else? Did I miss anything? Every single, to the emotional detoxes, right? Being irritable, crying, feeling like you need to have a meltdown. Every single one of those is a very, I mean, such almost expected detox withdrawal symptom. None of those are a sign that anything is going wrong. On the contrary, they're all affirming to us that the body is working at releasing all the pent up and backed up toxins. And that's how it shows you how it's getting rid of them. So, as uncomfortable as it can be, it is a necessary process. You can't get to where the body starts to rebalance and heal before the body releases. So, all of you right now are in the process of release. And for some of you, it went a little bit too fast, too intensely, too fastly, if you were, throwing up. And then some of you, it's a bit mild. Some of you didn't feel anything and suddenly started to feel it today. That's how detoxing works. And the more you go on this journey and the more you are eating in this way, you will go through cycles. So even if you're in the detox cycle right now, you're in the middle of all the symptoms and then they clear up and you feel amazing and you start to reverse your symptoms, don't be surprised if like a couple months down the line, you feel them again because the body clears in layers. So right now it's working on that first layer, then you're going to feel great. And then there's a deeper layer that it's going to have to get to. It's going to have to remove that. You'll go through some more symptoms and then you're going to feel great. And it will continue potentially like this for several months on and off, on and off. So this is where learning how to trust your body comes in. Trust that we were created perfectly with mechanisms and systems that know exactly what to do when they need to do them. So none of these are a symptom of a breakdown. None
لا
of
منتهية طبعا ما نفهم نرجع منتهي.
that something is wrong with you. On the contrary, these are all signs of how hard your body is working for you right now to rebalance and to heal you. So if you are experiencing any of these right now and still maybe not certain, not comfortable, not confident, reach out to me and I'll walk you through it. But the easiest remedy I would say that can cover sort of everything is the peppermint lavender mix. I can't stress this enough. It's good for headaches, it's good for body aches, it's good for uncomfortable nausea, discomfort, it's good for period cramps. If you are, I shared in today's email for constipation, the castor oil pack. If some of you are really constipated or coming off of laxatives, do this every single night. You can't do it too much. Do it every single night to help your body jumpstart your colon and jumpstart your liver so they can function independently. If you're having trouble sleeping, Epsom salt bath before sleep, and or magnesium oil spray on the bottoms of your feet. Magnesium oil spray you can get it at Black Lotus. Very simple to use. Spray like 3 to 4 sprays on the bottom of each foot right when you're in bed, right before you go to sleep. Massage it in, and it should help you have a deeper sleep. So there's ways around the discomfort. So we have to get through it. We don't want to stop the process, but there are definitely ways to help relieve you as you go through this process. Ghada, the pain is still and nonstop. This is how it can go, unfortunately, especially. I mean, here's the uncomfortable truth we all have to face when this happens, right? The intensity of the pain, the degree of the pain, the length of the discomfort is relative to how much toxicity your body is trying to offload. And then if you have a pre-existing condition, you're going to find that that's sort of a weak spot, and that pre-existing condition, maybe you have obviously, if you have like an autoimmune, right? If you have a thyroid condition, if you have endometriosis, if you have MS, if you have fibromyalgia, the symptoms associated with that condition, those symptoms are going to flare up before they get worse. If you have a weak spot on your body, so let's say you had a surgery somewhere, where the scar is, whatever that surgery was, that's a weak spot in your body. You might feel that area more intensely than other spots in your body. But again, none of it is pointing to a problem. The detox symptoms can last for a long time for some people. So again, try the methods to relieve the pain, try to relax. If obviously the pain is unbearable, okay, like nobody has to suffer through this process. If it is unbearable, take a painkiller, because it's very hard to heal through excruciating pain also. So gauge yourself. Are you able to bear it or not? If it's unbearable for you, take a painkiller to get you through. Angie, what if I don't have a bath? I only have a shower. In that case, definitely do the magnesium oil spray, Angie, for sure. You could also get like you know how when you get a pedicure, you get a little like plastic tush or whatever. You can fill that with water and put the Epsom salts in that and just soak your feet. It will be absorbed through your feet and will still be effective if you want to do that. If that's too much of a hassle, then just stick with the magnesium oil before bed. Jaylen, I go out a lot and don't know what to eat. If you go out a lot, then preparation. Take your food with you. So if you're going out and you know you're going to be out the whole day, and you know most of the places where you could get something to eat are not going to offer something that's, you know, appropriate for the detox, take your smoothie with you, take your salad with you. At the very least, take your apples and dates with you. This is where you have to see, right, how does my lifestyle function? I do always recommend, though, especially the first 9 days, to, as much as possible, because of the symptoms, because you're getting used to the preparation, because it's just so new, to really take care of that energy for yourself. And if, as much as possible, if you don't have work or things or obligations, as much as possible, try to stay home to protect your energy in the first 9-day cycle. Is the smoothies allowed now? The only smoothie you're having now is the berry smoothie. So none of the smoothies that are in the clean eating guide or any other smoothie, only the berry smoothie for now. Nariman, eating vegetables also has to stop 3 hours before sleep. Yeah, ideally no food, nothing. You don't want your body to be digesting. The liver starts to work, it starts to heal, it starts to regenerate starting 10 p.m. and continues to do so. And some of you who are waking up around 3 or 4 a.m., that's when the liver function peaks. That's when it's doing its hardest work. So if before this detox, you used to find yourself waking up around 3 or 4 a.m., that means that the liver was overburdened. Instead of, excuse me, regenerating during that time, you've given it so much to do that it's like an engine that's really revved up and it's working really hard, and then it wakes you up. If you're feeling it now, it's because we've initiated. So we've triggered the liver to work a little bit harder. So it's having the same reaction, but the cause of why it's doing that is a little bit different. So again, we want to help your body to relax during this process. It does take a lot of work and energy for the liver to detox. So as much as possible, we don't want to give it anything to also have to digest new, right? So it has to work and regenerate while you're sleeping. So at least don't, and it won't be able to do that effectively if it has to digest also. Can we eat soup? Yes. Actually, one thing you can do with the vegetables, the cooked vegetables, once you get bored of them or you feel like having something different, you can blend them all into a soup. So you can roast the zucchini with the broccoli, with the asparagus, with the mushrooms, with bell peppers, whatever it is, roast them and then put a little bit of vegetable broth or even just plain water and blend them into a soup. And you can maybe leave even half chunky, half creamy, whatever you feel like it. 100%. Nariman, is tamr like fruits can be right before sleep? Yes, that's one thing that can be, because fruits and tamr support the liver. It takes very little work for the liver to have to break them down. And tamr actually dates have a very soothing effect to help you sleep. Also, I finished my lunch late and my snack at 6 p.m., so I'm not hungry enough for dinner. So then listen to your body. So we do have a system, we do have this foundation we want to follow, but at the same time, we don't want to override your body's signal. So if you truly feel like you're not hungry, you don't have it, can't eat dinner, then don't. Angie, can we have the coconut sweet potato soup in this phase? And can we have the kale salad without the lentils? No, because there's no coconut in this phase, no coconut oil, no coconut fat, no coconut milk, nothing. And sweet potatoes are only on Wednesday. Can we have the kale salad without the lentils? Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, any greens, you can have any salad. Yes. Iman, can I skip dinner? If you are truly full, Iman, if you just heard my explanation for Farah, if you're truly full, ideally you never want to skip something. You don't want to go for too long without food. So instead of skipping dinner, have a snack instead. Have an apple, have a date, have a fruit. I didn't find asparagus and sprouts. I'm using kusa, carrots, cabbage, artichoke, green fasolio, sweet potatoes. All okay, but remove the sweet potatoes, please, Reda. Potatoes are only on day 11, which is Wednesday. Can we use any type of vegetable broth? Fresh, so not the cubes that you buy in the supermarket, because those are full of chemicals and full of MSG. So none of those, but if you make your own fresh one at home, yes. If I have pains, should I run them with magnesium oil or with the lavender? Both will work. Both will work. If it's more of a joint pain and muscle pain, I would say magnesium. If it's more of like a headache kind of pain or like a sore neck, then go with the lavender and the peppermint. Sharifa, can I substitute apples with oranges? Are you referring to the apple and date snack? So I would say, in this instance, make sure you have the apples, ladies. The apples and the date snack actually serves a very, very specific purpose. Once you have those, if you want to have additional fruits like oranges, by all means, have them as well. Amira, I know we can't have corn. Does that also apply to fresh corn like Dura Meshri? Yes, unfortunately, all corn has become genetically modified, which means it is extremely they've been taking it very far away from its original form. It's literally, when they say something is genetically modified, basically the three main crops that are genetically modified are corn, soy, and wheat. That means that they're literally one molecule away from being plastic. So our bodies cannot recognize them. And have you ever noticed when you eat corn and you go to the bathroom, you see little kernels sometimes in your poop? It's because the body can't break it down, has a very hard time breaking it down. Should we not use olive oil? You can use a little bit of olive oil in this phase. I would say no more than 1 tablespoon, and measure it out with a measuring tablespoon. No more than 1 tablespoon spread out over your meals. So you can want to use half of that for lunch and half of that for dinner. Can we have cantaloupe during the day or evening? 100%. Cantaloupe is amazing. Again, all the other fruits you're going to have, you just make sure you have what's in the plan first and then add whatever you want anytime. What's the recommended water intake during the detox days? And does it have to be a detox water like with ginger sensor? It doesn't have to be detox water. There is a theory, like so many theories, that we should be drinking 33 milliliters of water per kilogram of weight. So if you multiply like 0.33 times your weight, it'll give you how many liters. However, when you are doing what we're doing now, and basically every single meal is full of fruits and vegetables that are full of hydration, you might notice that you're not that thirsty anymore, and that's because we're hydrating your cells at a very, very deep level. And only the hydration from fruits and vegetables is the kind of hydration that can actually get to your cells that deeply. So when you're actually eating like this, you don't need as much water because there's a completely higher quality hydration that your body's taking in. So don't force yourself to go and drink that amount of water unless you're actually thirsty. And don't worry that you're going to become dehydrated, virtually impossible with the way that you're eating right now. Can I have pumpkin and kiwi in this phase? Kiwi, yes, not pumpkin. So pumpkin sort of goes under the same category as potatoes and sweet potatoes. So you can have that on Wednesday. Can we do either salad or veggies for lunch and dinner? I started the salad today for lunch and couldn't do the veggies and vice versa in dinner. If you're finding it really difficult to have both in terms of quantities, have less. Have less of each, but make sure you have both. So have half the salad or however quantity you feel you can manage so that you can do both. You are taking your detoxing to a deeper level starting today. It will continue to go deep, and then we will culminate with the juice only day on Friday, which is going to take it even deeper. So as you think about your week, as you think about your weekend, don't do anything on Friday. Stay home on Friday. Friday is juice only day. You might find an improvement in your detox symptoms in the next few days. And then when you go very deep, because it's just liquids, right, on Friday, you might find some of the symptoms come back on Friday or maybe even Saturday. So work with your body. Don't try and force your body to do normal activities, your regular schedule when the body is working in a completely different direction. So work with your body at this time. Amira, how come we don't use the celery leaves? And they're horribly bitter, Amira. I mean, you're welcome to. It's not like we shouldn't, but it's just the taste is awful. So I've had some ladies say, you know what, I don't mind it. And they throw it in there as well. So if you're okay with it, go ahead. But they really are quite bitter. And our celery here in Egypt is already not the tastiest. I mean, because I've tried celery here and celery abroad. The celery abroad is actually tasty. It's a very hydrating, very neutral taste. You don't taste the bitterness. The one here can be quite bitter. So you don't want to add to the bitterness by adding the leaves. Reda, ate my salad and the veggies after like an hour later. Is it okay? So if it's too much, again, Reda, like I said, eat half and half. Eat half and half so you can finish it all. You want to all be finishing your meals within about 20 to 30 minutes. Anytime you eat. It takes 20 minutes for your body, for your digestive system to send the signal up that it's full. So you want to be eating quite slowly, not fast, and see how much you actually eat complete within 20 to 30 minutes without forcing yourself. Does the healing soup replace the salad or veggies or either? I would say it would probably, replace the veggies. The healing broth, you mean? Yeah, you could do that. Maria, I'm a bit confused with the time interval between meals and snack. Should it be every 2 hours? Because I'm not hungry after 2 hours, especially if it takes a long time to eat the meal. So if I have lunch at 1, can I have the apple dates at 4, then lunch at 7? Ideally, when I say the snack time is 1.5 to 2 hours, yeah, no more than. So if you wait more than that to snack on something, the body, especially while you're detoxing, remember, it's about dosing the body on a regular basis, getting the healing power into the cells on a regular basis. But generally, when we go for too long, for too many hours without food, the body triggers this as a starvation. response. And then if the body panics and thinks that it's starving, it's going to pump cortisol. And if it pumps cortisol, then this goes into sort of a domino effect of, I mean, it's not going to happen from one time, but if it's something you do on a regular basis. So just keep that in mind, Maria, as you're just adjusting, because all of you are just, you're in, readjustment mode right now of trying to figure out what works best for you. Like, here's the schedule. But what in this schedule is very easy for me to do, really works for me? Where do I have to sort of find my own way? Where do I find how my body functions best? So if you're feeling like you're not hungry after 2 hours, I mean, I'm not asking you to eat a whole meal after 2 hours, right? After 2 hours, have a date, have an apple. So we just want to make sure that those, incredibly nutrient dense foods are having, your cells are having regular access to these. But you're saying lunch at 1, apple dates at 4. I mean, that's not too bad. That's not too bad, Maria. Yeah, let's start with that. But after the berry smoothie, I can have lunch at 1 because there's no morning snack. Yes, the berry smoothie is very filling. Most people don't feel they need to have a snack between breakfast and lunch, but definitely anybody who feels like they do, by all means, have more apples, have more dates, have another fruit. You can do that. Angie, I wake up so hungry in the middle of the night. Can I have some dates? Angie, are you eating all the food during the day? Are you skipping anything? Okay. When and if this happens, yes, you can have some dates, no problem. The other thing we're going to look at when we get to the class on emotional eating, right, is the difference between, is it an actual physical hunger or is it an emotional hunger? We'll get to that, but I want you to know that, Angie, potentially this could be an emotional hunger in the middle of the night, not physical. But you haven't yet learned how to tap and be able to tell the difference between emotional hunger and physical hunger. So just keep that in mind. But for the time being, yes, of course, you can have dates. Mona, is very dry, flaky skin a symptom of detox? So this is a symptom of how dehydrated you are internally, because deep hydration or dehydration happens at a cellular level. And the more dehydrated you are, the more it's going to show up on your skin. So what's happening now is you're rehydrating your body. The body, when it's also dehydrated, holds on to a lot of heat. So your body's releasing that now. It's releasing the heat. It's releasing the dryness sort of that was inside, and it's showing up on your skin. So definitely it's a symptom, a detox symptom. If you feel very thirsty at night, are you eating everything also, Mona, all day? You're not skipping anything? This is another reason why you don't want to skip the meals or really like decrease the quantities, right? Because they're very, very, very hydrating foods. Jaylen, I start my day at 11. Is this okay? What time do you wake up, Jaylen? Do you wake up at 11? Or do you wake up before that and only start eating at 11? There's a difference. Hang on, let me just make sure I'm not missing something. So, okay, Mona, for the dry skin, I knew something I wanted to say. For the dry skin, what you want to do, again, is make sure you're very, very well hydrated. And if not, I would add more fruits during the day because nothing hydrates more than fruits. You might even want to add another half a smoothie during the day for that. If you feel thirsty at night, wake up and drink. Okay, this is a rebalancing process. So keep track of this and keep track of how many nights you wake up thirsty and when does this finally start to resolve itself or not. So keep me posted. What to ease horrible bloating and IBS pain, especially from onion and garlic. Okay, so for horrible bloating, remember, the bloating, the gas. I mean, some of you might feel like your stomach is like a horrible, like a balloon, right? Or like you're 9 months pregnant. That happens, especially with IBS. That happens because, again, It's relative to how much toxins are being moved out. Garlic, onions, the broccoli, the asparagus, all the leafy greens, all the fruits, they're gut scrubbers. It's their job to go in and literally hang on to all the pathogens, the bacteria, and we all have these. Everybody has pathogens and bacteria and viruses and backed up old bacteria in the digestive system. Everybody does. So when you start to eat this way, it goes in and attaches all of these fruits and vegetables, attach to these because that's what they do. They know how to heal you and move them out of your body. So then as they're moving them out, these pathogens and viruses and bacteria, they die. We call it die off. You feel that process of die off as horrible bloating, unfortunately. It's a temporary process. So what you can do in the meantime is castor oil is your best friend. As soon as you feel the bloating, so I know some of you have told you to do it, the castor oil pack before bed, but let's say you wake up and as soon as you have the berry smoothie, you're bloated, or you get bloated right after lunch, then use the castor oil on its own right when the bloating happens. Don't wait for nighttime. So take a good amount of castor oil and massage it all over your entire abdominal area, from the top, right under your breast right here, all the way down to your pelvic area. You can also include the kidneys. Your kidneys are like right back here when you put your hands on your waist and your thumbs where they hit back here. Cover that entire area in castor oil, and that should give you relief within, it depends, half an hour to an hour. You can keep repeating that every single time you feel bloating. You don't have to worry about that. It helps. It's very healing. The other thing that can help with that is for you to drink lemon water about 15 to 20 minutes before or after your meal. That will also help with the bloating. Is honey okay after 7? Yes, it is. And the evening apple lemon and the herbal tea at night should all be at the same time. Yeah, like right after each other, one after the other. Jelena, wake up at 11. Okay, so you wake up at 11. Then what time do you sleep, Jelen? Because this could be throwing off your liver and healing. Obviously, if you wake up at 11, then your day starts at 11 and you have to work around that. My concern is then what time is your last meal? 1. So what time is your last meal, Jelen? Mona, I can't have dinner because the window of eating before bed is short for me. Mona, what time does your day start also? Let's work this backwards. Amira, apart from specific pain in some areas, I'm generally quite fatigued and tired. I actually took a nap in the middle of the day. How long does this generally last? I know everyone is different. I want to say starting today, anywhere from 3 to 7 days. It could take that long. Yeah, it could take that long. So your last meal is at 10. So what's happening, Jaylen, is you're eating right when your liver's trying to heal. So my recommendation for you would be at some point to consider, I invite you to consider shifting your schedule and shifting your bedtime, right? So right now, ideally, what we all want to be doing is rising as close as possible to the sun and going to sleep as close as possible to sunset. Our bodies follow this rhythm. They follow this circadian rhythm that naturally, with the sunrise and the sunset. And in terms of how our body heals and in terms of how certain organs heal, they also follow this circadian rhythm. So when we are sleeping at 1, regardless of what time we're eating, you're throwing the rhythm off. And then waking up at 11, the whole process of waking up, and the body wants to wake up at a certain time and wants to be up and working, it throws off that rhythm also. So at some point, I invite you to reconsider shifting your bedtime so that you optimize your health. Because right now, also, you're eating at 10. So your liver, instead of working to heal you, is digesting right now. It can't do anything else because there's food in your digestive system. So automatically, the only thing the liver can do and the rest of your system is digest. They don't have spare time or space to also heal at night. They have to digest. That's the priority. Reda, can I have dinner and apple and dates just after dinner? Yes. In this right now, when we're not eating any animal protein, it's just fruits and vegetables. Yes, you can do them back to back. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Any other questions, ladies? Hajar, I don't feel tired in the morning now, which I used to be. Amazing, but I feel sleepy in the middle of the day. Is that normal? Yes. Did you used to drink coffee before? Where is she? There's only a few of you have the camera.
Yeah, once a day.
Okay. So this is a typical, you've taken coffee out of the way. So it's going to be, even though it's been like what, since Thursday, 4 days, it technically, for any addiction, takes 5 full days in order for your body to be done with an addiction, any kind of addiction, drugs, caffeine, sugar. It takes at least 5 days for it to be gone. Once it's gone, though, so let's say technically tomorrow's the 5th day. Once it's gone, it's not like the body's like, oh, we're done. And it's like we're back to zero instantly. That's just the first phase for your body to clear out the toxins. Then it has to adjust to living without the toxins. And especially with caffeine, what caffeine essentially does is it raises cortisol levels in the body. And it does that because cortisol is, we're going to talk about this, I think tomorrow is our hormone class. Cortisol is produced in your adrenal glands. And some of you might have heard of something called adrenal fatigue. And that happens when the adrenals are forced to continuously be pumping out cortisol. And what happens with that is they end up really tired from having to do that. And then you end up really tired. But most of us, when we feel tired in our day-to-day, we'll have coffee, we'll have sugar, we'll have something as a pick-me-up. But you don't know how that's working sort of behind the scenes. It's creating more adrenal fatigue. Now that you've removed your pick-me-ups, whether that's coffee or sugar or bread or pasta or whatever it is, you're seeing the true state of your body currently without the fake external energy. So this will take some time, especially if the adrenals are tired, especially from caffeine. It takes the adrenals time to rebuild. So be patient with this process, please. You have to be patient with all of you have to be patient with the whole process. But this is also something, Hajar, like when we get to supplements, and this applies to all of you, when we get to supplements, we'll look at things like this, right? So if, let's say, by the time we get to the week where we're talking supplements, or not even then, maybe by then, you're still not sure, but like in month 2 or month 3, this is why we have to have this time together. If in month 3, you're still really, really tired all the time, and you've seen no shift at all in your fatigue, this is then when we would look at, right, she used to drink coffee, she used to drink all these things. If she's tired like this is a symptom of adrenal fatigue. What can we take to help the adrenals? And then in that case is where we would supplement with certain things to help your body boost this little healing journey along. But you do need to keep track of it before you make a decision like that. Because so many people just want to do supplements. You're not deficient in supplements, ladies. You're not, some of you have told me that you've gone and you've done the tests and you're deficient in so many, vitamins and minerals and all of that. Fair enough. But you didn't become deficient in these minerals and vitamins and nutrients because you're not taking supplements. You got deficient in them because you've got the incorrect food foundation. You've created an imbalance in your body. So either you're not taking these in to start with, or because of the inflammatory foods that you're eating, your body's not able to absorb whatever vitamins and minerals you might actually be consuming on a regular basis. So there's 2 things we have to do here. So before we bring in any supplements that you might need, we have to see how the body functions completely independently. Mona, my day starts at 7 and ends about 8 p.m., but I'm running errands during the day and don't have enough time to sit and eat dinner. I take a big lunch around 3 or 4. So, Mona, how big are the gaps then between your meals and your snacks and all of that? What time do you have the lemon celery and berry smoothie? And then is there a gap, like you have those in the morning and then nothing until 3 and 4?
Yes, then I take the celery juice and the lemon juice around 9 a.m.
Okay.
And then I take the apple and some dates until it's 4 or 3 a.m. p.m.
Okay.
until I don't take a lot of things in the morning.
Okay, so that's what I mean. That's where you're leaving way, way, way too long, right? So this is what can trigger a cortisol response because the body's going too long without any kind of nutrition, without fuel, basically. So when the body's running low on fuel, the body's very smart. It knows it has a backup. The backup is I'm going to push cortisol. I'm going to push adrenaline, and I have to give her something to get through her day because she's not eating, which again, every once in a while is not the problem. It's if you're doing it regularly that it becomes problematic. So I need you, Mona, to plan and prepare. If you know you're leaving your house at 9 a.m. and you're not going to be home until 4 p.m., you need to plan on taking your meal, your midday meal with you wherever you are. If it's difficult for you to take a cooked meal and the salad, then make another smoothie and take it with you and have a smoothie around 12 or 1 p.m.
Okay, this might be better. Take a smoothie or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Zainab, if I use the gourmet orange juice for smoothies, is that okay? Totally okay. Yeah, it's fresh orange juice. Also, they're raw honey, but the label says unfiltered and unpasteurized. Yeah, that's right. You want it unpasteurized, you want it unfiltered, you want it raw. Yeah, totally fine. Amita, can you please go through the timeline of what happens after Friday? Okay, so what's going to happen after Friday, and I will talk about this again throughout the week, is you would have completed your first 9-day detox. And depending on your symptoms and depending on your pre-existing conditions will determine one of a few things. Are you going to repeat the 9 days again? And for anybody with an autoimmune or a medically diagnosed quote unquote disease, I'm going to recommend that you repeat the 9 days. If you're somebody who came in with mild symptoms, like let's say I'm just generally tired, or I'm just generally, lack of energy. You don't have an actual, you're not on medications, you don't have something that is actually diagnosed and you actually need to work deeper to get out of it, then you can either go back to the clean eating that we started off with, or you can go to the hybrid cleanse. That's when the hybrid cleanse would come in. Hybrid cleanse is sort of an in-between, the deep, it's sort of a middle level detox between clean eating and between deep detoxing. And I will walk you through this, and you're going to get information in your emails about how to make the decision for what you do starting Saturday. So don't worry about that. That's coming up. Have you tried the grass-fed meat from Ardena? I have not. No. I can't comment on that. Zainab. Oh, that's the same question. Again, Perihan. It takes me around 1.5 to 2 hours to actually get through the lemon, celery, and smoothie. The lemon and should really just take about 5 minutes. The celery should also be a quick 5 minutes. They're not heavy, right? The lemon water is just water when you think about it. It's just water. We've just added some lemon juice to it. So that shouldn't take a long time. The celery juice is also very watered down. They're not dense. They're just very simple liquids. So I would say, obviously you do need to wait about 20 minutes between the celery and the smoothie, but I would say you should be done with lemon and celery about 15 minutes. Wait 20 minutes and then have your smoothie. So the whole thing should be done in 1 hour with all the waiting time. My celery is thick. Can I add water to it? Yes, please do. If you're blending your celery and it's too thick, then either you need to add more water or you need to strain it. But it's not supposed to be a thick drink at all. Let me just double check something. Tomorrow's class, I believe, ladies, is the